So we have about 15 minutes left. So share a little bit about what that was like and any other take-homes for the evening.
My business DS plus one was really quite nice. Nicer in some ways than my personal DS plus one. And yeah, and in fact, when I got to after having gone through the thing a few times, I realized, oh, there's some kind of, some aspect of my DS had creeped into, or of my PS had creeped into my DS plus one.
Yeah.
For my personal side.
Yeah.
I know, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't bother to try to figure it out. I was just like, oh yeah, something's not quite feeling so good now.
Huh.
So
about the unknown DS or the...
Yeah, because I kind of created a picture about it.
Oh,
I know, I'm so
bad. You ran into ecology. That's why you want to leave it as a joker. You want to leave your DS plus one as a wild card. It's really important. So you can do it again. You go ahead.
I made pictures for both of them. The picture from my business side had less ecology, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a classic issue is trying to imagine your DS from within your PS does bring in often the limitations of the PS and the imagining of it itself. Yeah? So, anyway, so invite you to give it a try again and see if it's okay to leave the DS plus one unknown. And that doesn't mean, not to have other, I mean, there's plenty of spaces in here for ones you articulate for yourself.
Thing is, it's like, how are you supposed to load up a feeling state if you don't have a picture?
So, right. I'll give you that. Thank you. So, guys, DS plus one. Julie, would you represent? And okay, so she could do that. Instead, we're asking you to do it. It's just a representation. And the field will give you information. You imagine states without having pictures all the time. It's called representing in constellations, particularly blind. Right?
True.
How often do we assign someone in a constellation the one whom the client wishes to join in death? And that's what you write on the card because you have no idea who it would be. And yet all of a sudden you start saying, so that's all this is. It's representing. It's and if you remember, my apologies for those of you who don't know the reference here, but experience chain. Remember the DS plus one and the DS plus two? Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. So stick it in your pocket and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. And all we want is the K of it. The other thing in representing, sometimes I decided not to go here, but you can step on something and go, okay, what would someone believe here? What are the main feelings here? What are the main presuppositions in this place? I remember there was a DS plus one or two a long time ago, and the thing that blurted out of my mouth was, this is the place where magic is real. Now, what that matches up with for an actual lived experience, I don't know. Right? But it was an awfully good feeling. Grab my finger. Let everyone else have that really cool K. And who knows, maybe that's the feeling of having a partner. Maybe that's the feeling of having, Gondorf come and take me to Middle Earth. I don't know. Okay, what else? Take homes. What else are you noticing?
I noticed, just really fun to get to the end and just sit there and feel it, that it's just like, oh, all problems solve themselves. It's sort of how it felt like. I was like, oh yeah, this is like the word thrive, at the end. It's like, oh, look, it all can happen.
Yeah.
Had all kinds of images or the feelings and the images of how, I have no idea what it really looked like in life, but it's the feeling of it, and some images that floated by that just was like, oh, yeah, that all can happen. It was really nice. Really nice feeling. Felt like such completion. I don't know where it is in the future that I stepped into, but it was like, whoa, cool. On both sides. And also it was really clear in both, for one for me and one for business, they were so aligned. They were so similar. There were a little bit different pictures on the U side. Definitely business pictures on that side, but the consistency, of me being in both of them, they really overlapped. And that was fun to see.
Mm.
Couldn't really separate those two.
Anyone have an interesting experience after you went back on your line after being blessed by others?
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Flutter.
Yeah, that was, yeah. It felt really nice to feel like I wasn't carrying it all myself, like someone was wishing me well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
I felt buoyed, like,
Mhm.
And the surprise for me was that I felt it more intensely on the business side than on my side, what would it mean to have other people praying for your business?
Mhm.
Or whatever word other than praying that you like, wishing your business well, or making nice pictures for your business.
I noticed going through at the end, realized that I was each time stepping forward with my left leg, and I am really consistently, like I balance on my left leg and always therefore step forward on my right if I'm on the street corner or wherever. I was watching it, and consistently I was now balancing on the other side and stepping out with a different leg.
Interesting.
That hints to me of some hemispheric integration.
There's some change work right there.
Corpus callosum activation.
I had very few pictures. I had mostly just sensation. It felt really good. It's like there were subtle differences between the me line and the business line, but it all just felt so like, it just felt really peaceful. Like it was almost like, oh yeah, see, it is all okay. I think that was the big message, was just like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much struggle you've had in the past, like you have learned that struggle isn't actually necessary. Like the internal struggle, like it doesn't always go exactly how you want it or how you expect, but it's still all okay.
And suffering is actually not, struggling is not entirely unuseful. The plant struggling to get out of the soil, build strength.
Yeah.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Hearing some old grandpa somewhere saying. Don't worry, I don't completely buy that philosophy. Did everyone have the experience of looking back and noticing you don't judge your past selves?
Yeah. Don't use those words, but that's exactly, good words.
Yeah, it didn't feel upset. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you loser, how come you weren't further along back then?
Yeah.
Make me where I am.
It felt like a parent loving their child, you just don't have that judgment. It's like, oh, look, wow, look at your path. Okay.
Other take-homes from today, niching, selling, reframes, and rapport with sales over time.
Rapport with
Selves.
selves over time.
A win for a past, present, or future self is a win for all of them. They are not in competition.
That was what was useful for me, I think, in that exercise is it's helping me to reframe the experience I'm having in the present state of anxiety. After I'd gone through the line notes and went back, it felt more like anticipation. Sort of like either a ride or a movie that you watch once so you know how it ends. And the second time you go through, you can kind of enjoy the ride and the thrill of things because you know you're not going to die or, any of that.
Right, yeah,
So it
right.
kind of felt more like, this was that part that, it's kind of uncertain, but it's kind of fun because we know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah,
So it had a different quality of feeling.
yeah.
I was surprised I got an overview. The present state, when I went through it and then came back and stepped on it again, it was just like I saw it, like, oh, this is what's going on. You don't have to take it so seriously. It was like, oh, regrouping. Oh, so simple, like take it out of all the pain and the thought and everything that we're going through. And it was like, oh, gosh, I see. And then that'll come. It was like, oh, way to hold it. How simple. How lovely.
Yeah, getting the 10,000-foot view from time to time is so useful.
So useful.
Because when we're in it, we're in it. So if we're feeling worried, we're feeling worried. What else should it be? But that's what it is, right? But if we can get above it, then we can see, oh, it's anticipation, or it's moving through something, or oh, that's a pattern that's going to be completed soon. It's that kind of thing. Anything from selling or niching that feels like a take home for anybody in the room?
I'm so confused on niching. I'm going to let that one filter.
Cool. Cool.
I just had it's obvious, but sort of the coin drop, as they say, the connection in the, what do you call it? Not scarcity thinking. Around the selling? What is it?
It was,
the dignified exchange. The dignified exchange.
Between two adults.
As opposed to like the groveling of asking for material resources from begrudging parents.
For instance, I'm
For
not
instance.
saying Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent,
Oh, go ahead.
The part about, you said the two sweet spots, the one being the one that you feel. And then you touched on it very lightly, but it's something that I'm going to spend a little more time thinking about. You said it doesn't necessarily have to be the big trauma thing. It may be
Yeah.
something as subtle as you gave that example about an introvert.
Right.
That opened up my thinking a little bit about that because I think I've had a very kind of meta view, which I think is too broad. It's too much of a GP, general practitioner view of that. And so there's a lot of possibilities, more granular possibilities within that.
Yeah.
What I got from that
Yeah.
piece.
And all that matters is it was kind of important that you figured that out for yourself.
Mhm.
It had some weight, that thing.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be the worst wound we've ever had. Oftentimes, the worst wound we've ever had, even though we've gotten over it, is not the right niche. It really isn't. There's some people who get themselves, it's like, the parents of a murdered child who end up devoting their lives to victim advocacy, and they kind of don't get their lives back. I mean, it gives them purpose. It helps them wake up every day, for which we're glad. But they kind of can't find another place to lodge anymore.
I like the acknowledgement of selling is intimate.
Wasn't that nice when I heard that? That was,
Acknowledgement of what?
Selling is intimate.
Selling is
Interesting.
intimate, sorry, yeah.
yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
I really liked that, like, what is it that you're trying to protect yourself from?
Mm.
And the one of us is a perpetrator and we're not safe right now. It was nice for me to notice that I'm not in that anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I used to feel there was this weird feeling of like, I'm trying to get you to do something that will benefit me.
yeah,
And I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel like I've shifted to a place where
yeah.
I just describe what I would love, like how I would love to support the person and just like leave it open for them to decide.
I'm coaching a client right now who's moving to another level in her business, which is something I went through when my coach told me about cultivating people I thought would be good fits for these programs. So I have a list of about 30 or 40 people who I know in my network who next time around I may or may not reach out to them. And I was coaching her about this because it's different from sending out big newsletters and, you know, all that sort of stuff, social media, blah, blah, blah. And instead I'm calling up Anya and going, Anya, how are you doing? How's your business going? I'm starting this new series and I can really see you in it. Would you like to talk to me about it? And then you do that pretty much with everybody because it's a bigger typical. She's doing a writing retreat in Paris. It's her first really big ticket thing, and there's a lot kind of riding on it. And she's kind of like a little appropriately freaked out by this step. And I'm like, just think of those 20 people who it will make you so happy to see them there because you know they're writers and they love, you know, that kind of attention and that kind of work and the kind of creativity you love. And I just sort of really helped her imagine what that conversation would be and how loving it is to be in relationship with people like that. And you know, if they say no, cool. But it's really in alignment. You know, I can really see you in this. That kind of thing, yeah. It's an amazing place when you get to there in your business and you can really, instead of waiting for them to come to you, you develop all these relationships and you can reach out and say, I can see being part of this. I know it's a lot of money, but let's talk about it. Other thoughts before we go? We're 9:04, sorry. We just dribbled over 4 minutes. Okay, make your appointments.
Yeah.
Talk to each other.
Oh, I would love to make an announcement that my birthday is coming up. And it's
That's right.
actually May 7th, which I decided to go away. I gave myself permission not to come, even though I really want. It's like I don't want to not be here, but I really want to be celebrating my birthday. Maybe somebody.
It's the 4 of us, so it's not one of those in between ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd also love to invite all of you to my birthday party that's happening May 16th in Oakland at a dance space. And I'm also going to be showing my art for the first time, like my art. So I think what I'll do is I'll post the Eventbrite link on our Facebook page. So you guys
nice.
can just go there.
Makes it
And if
simple.
you want to come, please come. I'd love to have you there.
My birthday's May 15th.
Oh, cool.
No way.
Oh,
Wow.
it'll be
Taurus
the
is
day
here.
before your party.
Tauruses, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All the bowls.
Oh.
My mom was a Taurus too, so
You are too. Oh, no, your mom is, you said.
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm every ounce the Sagittarius that I am.